Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the It Doesn't Matter podcast. We've got myself, Back Lashley. We've got Pape Platino. We've got BDC. And we've got the host of the show, the notorious one, Dom. Boom. And we are here to review and discuss WWE Backlash 2013, a pay-per-view, a choice, my choice of show. Dom, I know the first question, what it's going to be, but what's going on with Backlash 2013?
First of all, R.I.P. to Sabu. Sabu recently passed away, so it's only fitting that we give him a little shout out to this show right here, Extreme Rules 2013. But Backlash Lee, why did you choose Extreme Rules 2013?
I contribute Sabu too. Okay, so Backlash 2013 is a show I chose because I've never seen it. 2013 was a divisive year for me personally because lots of personal things going on. But it was just a show, a pay-per-view, because they were pay-per-views at the time. And to date, I have never had pay-per-view capability. I just never had that cable box in my house or anyone around me. The only person that had it was Randy. Shout out Randy. Shout out Randy Osga. So I used to go to his house for pay-per-views and on Sunday nights, and yeah, just whatever. Life happens, and I wasn't able to watch this one with him, so I just skipped it. And so it was a nice chance to watch it for the first time here recently.
All right. Well, Extreme Rules 2013 takes place in St. Louis, Missouri, the home of Backlash last night, fellas.
Yes, sir.
Home of Randy Orton.
Yes,
and
sir.
We got Michael Cole, Jerry the King Lawler, and Yell on commentary. And your opening match is Chris Jericho and Fandango. Platino, you want to tell the people who Fandango is?
So Fandango is basically a ballroom dancer character. He made his debut at WrestleMania, and he beat the nueve, Chris Jericho. He was an amazing character. Caught my eye when he first came in, and still held his attention. I mean, not to the point where you wanted to constantly see him, but that comedy role fit him perfectly well later on in his career with WWE. Feel like they probably mismanaged him, but could have been something for ages. It was people don't understand. People were fandangoing at baseball stadiums and football and all types of sports. So it's crazy how much WWE's impact is in the world and how it is now.
Well, Fandango, he was definitely over. WWE was riding the wave from him winning that WrestleMania 29 against Chris Jericho. And they showed that they had a dance-off on Monday Night Raw, Jericho, Summer Rae, and whoever his partner was at the time. But Summer Rae got injured, and Fandango took advantage and took out Jericho. And, yeah, here we go. So we get the match between Chris Jericho and Fandango.
Well, I see you got distracted by Summer Rae.
Oh, yeah.
Because you didn't have any sunny days.
Yep.
And for it being the opening contest, the fans were pretty into it. It was pretty good. And they rode the wave of Fandango. The fans was loving his, his little gimmick or whatnot. But Chris Jericho, he won the match with the code breaker. Fandango was going for some type of flying clothesline, something off the top rope. And, yeah.
Jericho hell counter.
Yeah.
Backlash Lee, what are your thoughts on this match right here?
I mean, of course, I remember that, Fandango won the WrestleMania match. And, that was a big deal, Chris Jericho. And look at Chris Jericho here, man. I know it's been, 10, 11, 12, 13 some odd years. And he just looks like I know he changed his gimmicks, but he's just a totally different guy back then. But yeah, so it was a decent storyline coming out of the WrestleMania match and coming into this. And it was nice to see, Summer Rae and Fandango still in good graces with each other. But the finish, it was a really good finish. It was like a well-worked match. But it just reminded me of the 50-50 booking they would do all the time back then. Like, you win, I win, and now we're the same. Because Fandango would win the Intercontinental title, I think, within the next couple of months after this. So I was like, well, he has to maintain the momentum. He has to win.
I think so.
Really?
You know?
I think he won. Yeah, I think he won a belt. It wasn't short. It was a short run, but I remember that.
He got concussed, and they had to take the title off him because it was a weird time. Because Curtis Axel, I think, he won the title for Father's Day, and I don't know. Just there's a bunch of stuff going on here. I don't know that far ahead. But yeah, so I was just thinking, I was like, yeah, Fandango's going to win the IC title, so he should win. But Jericho won, and then I was like, oh, of course, no momentum. They're not going to continue his great momentum. Jericho wins, and now they're even, and who knows? They're going to have another third match at Judgment Day or whatever the next show is going to be. Or I don't think they would, but that's like I said, a good match. Just clunky booking. Excuse me. The match was fine. The booking was suspect.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
I'm looking right now to see if he was an Intercontinental Champion, and all it says that he's a tag team champion. That's it. Tyler Breeze.
I could have sworn he won the belt, or maybe he just took. Maybe he did steal the belt or something from somebody, and one of those "I got your belt" gimmicks for like a rivalry. I don't remember. I remember distinctly him grabbing the belt for something.
Yeah.
One of them gimmicks that didn't really need a championship. But it is what it is.
That's accurate.
Does this match matter?
It was a good opener, so it doesn't matter.
Decent starter match.
Yeah.
All right, well, our next match, we have Kofi Kingston, United States Champion, taking on Dean Ambrose from The Shield. And it's for the U.S. title right here. BDC, what are your thoughts on this match right here?
Man, I forgot how athletic Kofi pre-New Day was. I forgot. There's things that he did as Kofi Kingston he's never done while he was a member of New Day. And as I said, I literally forgot. Dean Ambrose coming in full power game off the jump was kind of surprising to me too. But I mean, the match was a good match as far as I saw it. I thought when Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns turned around and they headed back up the stairs, I was like, okay, they're going to come down at some point. And they're going to, because I haven't seen a match in 12 years. I was like, they're going to come down and they're going to interfere. But nah, it was a clean match. It was a clean finish, and it was all that. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh yeah, the Shield was on that time back then where they was like, we don't need to cheat. We just gonna go ahead and bust that ass, and that's it. I thought it was a good match. And Dean Ambrose looked really good technically in the ring. He doesn't look like John Moxley now. Where he actually had to rely on wrestling ability versus nowadays just give me chairs, give me spikes, give me stuff, and I'll just hardcore my way through it. He actually had to rely on technical ability he had to show. So that was my thought. Counters were beautiful. He hit Dirty Deeds version 1 for the win.
I missed
for the championship. So I mean, I thought it was a good match. It didn't let down from the there was no letdown from the first match. It was just good. It was good for me.
Yeah, so just like BDC was saying, the Shield comes out through the crowd like always, but this time Rollins and Roman Reigns went back up the stairs. So we had a one-on-one match with Dean Ambrose and Kofi Kingston, and Dean Ambrose was more of a scaled-down version of John Moxley at this time. And if you guys want to see the reason why Kofi's chest is all caved in, Dean Ambrose fucking drop kicked the shit out of him. That's why his shit's all caved in right now. But it was a good-ass match. Ambrose with the win with the first version of the Dirty Deeds.
Yep.
And he didn't need to cheat. He won the title cleanly. Dean
Yep.
Ambrose is your new U.S. champion. Lee, Backlash. What do you think?
It's a very important match in wrestling history because of course, just like you said, Dean Ambrose's first United States first championship gold in the company. His legacy with the title would be that he would hold a record length championship with the U.S. title, but not necessarily in the form of defenses because he never defended the damn thing.
Yep.
But they just had it on him because, some more booking plans later on in the show. We will see very shortly what they were planning, the booking committee, that is. But you're talking about, Dean Ambrose being more of a wrestler versus the modern day John Moxley. I mean, John Moxley would admit to you today that his preferred style is the style he wrestles in now. And that's where he came from, and that's what he did.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Naturally.
That's what?
I said naturally.
Natural. Yeah. So, I mean, who else? Who else? Like our fallen hero Sabu, the same way. He had a certain style match. I'm like, I think he was trained by his uncle, the Sheik,
Yep.
right? Just like Rob Van Dam was, and I'm pretty sure, like, even though the Sheik was known for being that fireball hardcore wrestler, and Sabu was definitely that kind of guy as well. And even Rob Van Dam, he loved being the hardcore champion because he liked not being limited to just wrestling, even though he had many classic matchups, especially with Chris Jericho when he first came into the company, of course, with Jerry Lynn as well. So what is their preferred style to wrestle as? So maybe it makes you a more versatile wrestler, John Moxley. But he is what he is, so he can do both. He can be a hardcore wrestler, and he can wrestle a regular match without cheating, and become a one of those mentioned in the pantheon of United States champions: Harley Race, Ricky Steamboat, and Lex Luger, and Dean Ambrose.
I literally watched a video. It was about 30 minutes of John Moxley / Dean Ambrose finishes he's used throughout his career. And when I tell you the dude had somewhere in the neighborhood of 25 to 30 different finishers he's used. Not just like, oh, I'm using this for a match because it's there. I mean, he's used them multiple matches as actual finishers. I was just like, damn, I had no idea. Some of them were awesome. Some of them were absolutely ridiculous, but he's had a lot of them. He has had a lot of them. Yep. Yeah.
Point blank.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kept it fresh.
Our next match.
I gotta say one thing about that match too. No, it's all good. When you said his technical abilities, I did notice that it was so different. And then I looked back on someone who he reminded me of from so far in the past, and it was Terry Funk. Terry Funk back in the day was known for his wrestling prowess. And then later on, during his more lean years, became that brawler, that psychopath that did all that hardcore stuff. So I would compare John Moxley to this modern day Terry Funk, where he's in a new company. He's trying to give him the rub, let them, build a little legacy on him. And that's probably why Tony Khan's got him as a champion, and hopefully the next generation takes over and runs wild on it.
That's a good comparison. I could definitely see
that.
I might have to put that on the Facebook page and see what other people feel about that.
And tag John Moxley too. Maybe he'll be like, "You're a freaking psycho." I like it.
You don't read that shit.
I know he don't, but still.
Maybe Renee will.
Maybe. All right. Well, our next match, we have a strap match between Sheamus and Mark Henry, and they showed what happened previous weeks between them. They had an arm wrestling contest, and Sheamus sucker punched Mark Henry.
Fuck.
They had a tug of war match, and
blast him right in the mouth.
And Mark Henry just fell down and embarrassed him. So here you go.
Yeah.
Strap match from Strap Lee. And I'm not sure what the last strap match that we covered, but this was pretty interesting. They had all the lights all set up around the ring. This typical strap match. You got to touch all four corners.
Yep.
That's
this is different though. I never remember them having those lights. That was WCW?
Fancy. WCW used to do that minus the lights, but
the light. That was literally the first time they used the lights. This match was the first time they ever used the lights on the strap match.
I didn't like him. I liked him and I didn't because it was different. It was something I've never seen before, but it's like, do you need it? Not really.
Well, I think from the standpoint of the fan gets the benefit of knowing, okay, he hit this one, okay, he didn't hit that one, or what have you. From the fan standpoint, it works. Wrestler standpoint, not really, because they're gonna do whatever, and the referee should be paying attention if you're hitting the turnbuckle. So that's purely fan service more than anything.
Yeah, right.
I did appreciate some of the very inventive ways that Sheamus had of trying to hit the corners. Specifically when he just was on Mark Henry's back and Mark Henry was hitting him and he was hitting him right behind him.
Yeah, yep. I've seen that spot a couple times.
Dustin Rhodes used to do that in WCW.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I forgot who he fought, but every single time the guy would touch it, he'd go right behind him and touch it and yank him the last time to get the last one. But,
yep.
Yeah. Gotta learn from somewhere.
Yeah, that it was pretty awesome. I mean, I thought that Mark would do, based on the shit that he kind of been through, I figured that he might get more of a beat down on Sheamus than he did. But, it's neither here or there at this point. Sheamus did what he had to do to get the W. But decent match nonetheless. Like I said,
the finish of the match, Sheamus already had 3, the turnbuckles. They're already lit up. Mark Henry's going for the world's strongest slam. Sheamus counters, hit him with the brogue kick, and he gets that last one.
Yep.
Fun little match.
Yeah.
Partner, what's your thoughts on this match?
I'm a little disappointed in it in a way because I thought this should have highlighted Mark Henry a little bit more, especially him hitting all that backlash from like not being able to do all the tests of strength with him, and he basically looked like the idiot, and then still couldn't beat Sheamus. I know Sheamus's trajectory at that time was more known than Henry. I don't think Henry did the Hall of Fame just yet.
No, I don't think he was.
I think this already took place, right?
They might have mentioned it during the match, but I don't think that it was. I don't think it really gained as much traction. I don't think it was really gaining a lot of traction yet. Like it really gained traction towards his championship reign, but.
You know what? I don't think it happened just yet because I remember seeing that same shirt that Cena had where the champ is here. And Mark was giving that speech sometime around, I want to say June, July. He starts giving that speech, and then that's when he hits him with the world's strongest slam and fakes us all out. So I think it's not there yet, but it's on its way. I could be completely wrong.
That was years later.
Yeah, and if I'm not, I thought that at some point during the match they mentioned the Hall of Pain. I thought they mentioned it during the match. I'll go back and see at some point. Won't be the night.
No need. Mark Henry. What is it? He beat Randy Orton at the Night of Champions in the fall of 2011 because Big Show would beat him at the. I think it was the TLC pay-per-view in December, and I think that's when Daniel Bryan cashed in his Money in the Bank, and he was the World Heavyweight Champion leading into 2012's WrestleMania 28 in Miami, where he lost in 18 seconds to Sheamus.
I remember that. Remember that well. The Kiss of Doom.
That would be Mark Henry, his only World Heavyweight title run, not counting the ECW title, but that would be in 2011. But I think this, whatever you want to call it, the Mark Henry and John Cena, the fake retirement thing and the big pink suit, I think that would be this year or coming up soon, the summer of 2013, I think.
Yep.
So it didn't happen yet. His fake retirement didn't happen yet. But if that world title run was called his, the Hall of Pain run, that already happened.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I was just thinking about other strap matches. My kind of match, the strap match. I mean, it always boils down to the first things you saw as a kid. You know, I mean, the first strap match that I can recall is between Savio Vega and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, and of course Dusty Rhodes probably doing the Texas, whatever you wanted to call it, you know, the other version of a strap match, just like Dom mentioned. And I remember one happening in WCW also. I can't pinpoint it, but for me, the most famous ones for my memory is again, Savio Vega and Stone Cold twice, because they did a In Your House, Beware of Dog. That was a pay-per-view where the electricity went out during the pay-per-view, and they had to do the whole damn thing over 2 days later on Tuesday. So the other famous strap match of sorts, the one where you're touching all four corners with lit turnbuckles, I believe, is the Great American Bash 2004 with JBL and Eddie Guerrero, where Eddie Guerrero lost the title to Mr. Layfield. And a month prior, you know, it was Eddie and JBL for the first time, where Eddie Guerrero, this was in Los Angeles, left a bloody mess. Way too much blood, as a matter of fact. Did we cover that show, Judgment Day 2004? Eddie and JBL?
I don't think we got
because it's Mordecai's debut.
But Platino did say he wants to do Wrestling That Made Us with that match right there. That strap match.
I did want to talk about that.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
So,
it was a SmackDown pay-per-view, and it was like such a crappy... I mean, it was just a bad pay-per-view. I'm like, circling Mordecai versus Hardcore Holly. Come on now.
Jesus.
So I'm looking up the top strap matches of all time.
Oh, boy.
And number 15 was JTG versus Shad Gaspard.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Sheamus and Mark Henry was 14.
Okay.
Drew McIntyre and Karrion Kross. Extreme Rules 2022.
Oh.
I don't remember that match.
Neither do I.
Then after that, you have Randy Orton versus Dusty Rhodes, Great American Bash 2007.
Sure.
I don't remember that either.
Dustin or
Dusty.
when?
Yeah.
2007.
Oh, wow.
Oh, his
Legend
Legend Killer,
Killer.
run. Okay.
Number 11, you got the Russian Chain match with John Cena and Rusev. I remember that one.
That was
Extreme
good.
Rules 2015.
That was a good one.
Boy.
Then you got the Biker Chain match between Brock and Undertaker. No Mercy 2003.
I forget if that one was decent enough.
Then you got the Samoan strap match with CM Punk and Umaga. Extreme Rules.
Wait,
2009.
CM Punk and Umaga?
Yep.
Ooh.
Fatu.
I might have to go back and watch that one. That one's interesting.
That's what this show is about, baby.
Yep.
Inspiring you to check out classic professional wrestling.
Number 8, they had a bull rope match. Dusty Rhodes and Superstar Billy Graham.
I've heard about that one. Or that one was pretty good.
Dexter Lumis and Cameron Grimes and NXT TakeOver War Games.
I'm not watching.
Yes.
Batista and JBL. That
When?
was on SmackDown.
That was on SmackDown?
That was on SmackDown.
25? 05?
Yeah, 2005.
Yeah, I think I remember.
Cody and Nakamura
Cody and Nakamura.
in the bull rope match.
Yeah, I definitely don't remember that.
Raw,
That must have been
February 5th,
recent.
2024.
Nice.
I don't remember that.
Oh.
The Rock and Triple H, #1 contendership, fully loaded, 1999.
I think I remember watching that one.
The Fiend versus Daniel Bryan at the Royal Rumble.
No, I don't want to watch
Boy.
Eddie and JBL. That's number 2. And number 1 is the Caribbean Strap match.
What's up?
I do want to watch the one. I do want to rewatch the MJF and CM Punk one. The build up to that was very well done, and
The dog
knowing
collar
those two
match.
guys, yeah, that one was. It's technically a strap match, even though it's not.
Dog collar
right
match.
Will you be my Valentine?
Bobby Gaines, the notorious Bobby Gaines, watching that live at Horsepower Cigar Lounge in beautiful, safe Montville, Connecticut. He's like, I'm watching this stupid match. The guys have these dog collars and they're just fighting each other. That's why we don't watch wrestling with Bobby. It's a legendary match in Starrcade pro wrestling history, Bob.
Yeah.
You might like this next segment because backstage we see AJ Lee on the phone talking to her boyfriend at the time, Dolph Ziggler. Ugh. And then Caitlin's backstage.
Oh,
and then Caitlin called
AJ
Looney Tunes, and she did not like it. And then basically she made the Porky Pig sound.
No, she said it's ironic. She said it's ironic you're quoting a pig.
Yeah, Caitlin doesn't like being called a pig.
And Caitlin like lit her up. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Caitlin was a whole different animal from Celeste Bonin or whatever her last name is now. She did a whole different
Bonin.
Yeah, she. Whew.
Oh boy.
Something. Yeah.
Big E could have been clapping that instead of the New Day.
I'm not saying anything to that.
That's okay. You don't have to.
I don't.
All right. Well, they showed how Dolph Ziggler got his concussion. Jack Swagger punted the hell out of him, and that's why he's not here.
Hit him with the old Brie Bella. Straight in the face.
So this is going to get pretty interesting because our next match is Jack Swagger and Zeb Coulter versus Alberto Del Rio in the I Quit match.
Oh man,
so, I couldn't wait to hear BDC and Backlash Lee's thoughts on some of the comments of Zeb, Dutch Mantel.
Ah man, I have some shit to say about that too.
Coulter,
talking about the IRS, talking about how St. Louis was a Americans' pastime for baseball. How the Cardinals
they should be
change their name to the Caribbean
Cardinals. Yeah,
full of foreigners that they get their money run back to the country like Alberto Del Rio.
Oh man,
the feels of this match, none of them were good. Because I was never an Alberto Del Rio fan. Mind you, was a huge Ricardo Rodriguez fan. Don't ask me how that works. I was a Ricardo Rodriguez fan, could not stand Alberto Del Rio.
You love his announcement. Alberto!
That could be it. Could be it. Couldn't stand Alberto Del Rio though. And
quick side note: the best thing about Ricardo was that Royal Rumble entrance when he came on the Del Rio and he came out with the broken down Honda or whatever he had. That was hilarious. He came out with them white drawers on. That shit.
Yeah, that shit had like. Did it have like shit stains or something on it? Or
too damn funny. You can't
Ricardo, oh man, Ricardo, we love you for that.
Man. That dude's classic, man.
Maybe he'll be back since they re-signed Del Rio for Triple A.
I hope so.
El Patron.
Alberto, he's done some dumb shit outside the ring, which I can't condone, but
he can still go in the ring.
Yeah,
I just
things. I gotta separate the artist from the man.
Yeah, it's just for some reason, and I could never get on that train. I just don't. I tried. It just just never a fan.
Well, hopefully Del Rio keeps his nose clean. We heard from a guest off camera about he like to do some stuff
that keeps his nose dirty. Yeah,
riding that train.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But all right, this was a very physical fight between these two. Strap, quick question. WrestleMania 29, you were in attendance. I was there. BDC, were you there?
That was New York, New Jersey. Absolutely.
Wasn't the "We the People" chant much louder at WrestleMania compared to this venue right here?
Well, I would say that the "We the People" thing was the movement got bigger the less it got pushed. So by WrestleMania 30, the next year, it was a big deal because Cesaro was part of them as the real Americans.
Yep.
But I would say, it was, Jack Swagger and Zeb Coulter with Cesaro, they were more popular later in the future than they were right now. So
Yeah. Jack Swagger
because
was...
they got. I mean, Jack Swagger. It's his fault. I mean, he. I mean, this was like they had the full faith of Vince McMahon at this point, but Jack Swagger got caught into some trouble, some RVD and Sabu in a car trouble, and that derailed him winning the world title. I'm pretty sure he would have won it at WrestleMania in New
We
Jersey.
the people get high.
So this was a lame duck match just because Dolph Ziggler got hurt for real and they had to put this match together. And as a matter of fact, Jack Swagger got the jobber entrance. He's the number one contender for the world heavyweight title. One of the headline matches at WrestleMania 29, supposed to be because it's for the world title. He gets a jobber entrance. He just shows up in the ring after a Snickers commercial, So down and out went Jack Swagger. Just one of those guys. He could have been a contender, but
he's a pretender.
Yeah, he was better as All-American American.
Yeah, no thanks to
on your knees.
That was just terrible, they originally, they wanted Jack Swagger to beat John Cena for the cash in the Money in the Bank on John Cena. John Cena allegedly said no thanks. So they did it with Chris Jericho, which in the long run helped because then Jake Hager would have a decent run in AEW.
Yep.
But then, and this is why, Randy Orton with his long ass career in the wrestling business, and he puts everyone over, including Mark Henry, Jinder Mahal, and Jack Swagger. He was his first opponent for the world title, first defense. Jack Swagger beat him. And Jack Swagger, he was very charismatic and he smiled and he had a good gimmick. He was arrogant. And then Vince was like, hey, you're smart, that's not world title gimmick. Stop, knock that off. And then he just became quiet and somber. And then it's like, okay, great. Who is this Jack Swagger guy? He's all serious and boring now. And that's what he was. And that's why his world title reign sucked, was terrible. And he's one of the Money in the Bank losers. Even though he cashed in successfully, he's one of the overall losers because he didn't do nothing with the push he got due to many factors. So anyway,
well, like I was saying, there was a physical fight, kendo sticks involved, steel steps were involved. Swagger was letting Del Rio up in this I Quit match right here.
Yeah, he was.
And Mike Chioda, do you quit? No.
No.
The whole damn time. But finishing the match, Del Rio hits the cross arm breaker and he makes Swagger taps out.
Well, that was the second finish because that first one was
oh boy,
Zeb Coulter throwing in Ricardo Rodriguez's towel. The referee just seeing the towel and automatically assuming that Del Rio was being quitted. And
throw the damn towel.
Referee comes running down at 95 miles an hour. No, I saw it. He didn't throw the towel. Okay, dude, we can hear you. Then in a very Major League Baseball like maneuver, let's go to replay. What?
So stupid.
You needed to go to replay. You got a fucking Titantron baton behind you, and you had to go to this little screen for the replay. What?
Yeah,
what?
I got it for you, brother. Right here. that spot. Oh my god! I was like, "Oy!" I know they didn't just do that.
Awful.
Jesus, man.
They're trying to change the game up, but
I get
dusty finish in there.
Yeah, it was a little dusty finish. They wanted to get a definitive winner for the number one contendership for, was it the world title or the WWE?
It was the world heavyweight title.
Okay,
with the big old title. The big old, yeah.
These pay-per-view, these pay-per-views back in the day, what were they, 3 hours? This felt like 3 hours already.
Yeah, it did.
Seriously.
My God. Oh my God!
Started watching. I'm
John
like,
choose this show? Man,
oh
all
my
right.
God. John. But every now and then we find a stinker and we find good stuff in it.
Yeah,
well, the review's not over yet, folks.
No. All right. Well, next.
Give it time.
Our next match, we have Team Hell No of Daniel Bryan and Kane taking on the Shield of Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins for the tag titles.
Sad.
Every single time I watch like Roman from like over 10 years ago, I can't believe how he became the guy.
Yeah.
I could have had his autograph and I just walked right past him like I didn't want him because I thought he was
selfish.
amount to nothing whatsoever. I regret that. Because I always thought that Ambrose was going to be that guy, Moxley was going to be that top guy, but
because he was the one talking. But I think he was a veteran too.
Why.
Oh, that suffering succotash. That was a
that would have killed almost anybody else's career. If he wasn't being pushed, they would have been dead.
It's supposed to be Chris Hero, man. CM Punk wanted Chris Hero.
Sorry, buddy.
Oh no!
Fat ass in that damn suit. What they be wearing?
No. I'm sorry. That wouldn't work. Chris Hero.
You talking about Jada Parker?
She worked that.
She'll work in any group, any action. Yeah.
Different kind of fat ass.
Yeet.
Yeet. Sorry.
Well, we're about to get canceled.
Yep.
Roman Reigns.
Bring back an old gimmick. Bring it back. Right, Roman Reigns.
Yep. Well, Backlash, Lee, I know you're a big Daniel Bryan guy, so what are your thoughts on this match right here?
Man, like as soon as you said the participants of the match, I was like, oh no. I was just so disappointed and like just think again, flash forward a year and he, just coming off WrestleMania and like he's freaking injured and he's hurt. And it's like a year prior, it's like he could have been hurt during this period of time also. Maybe that's why they were doing a tag team thing. And maybe sometimes when wrestlers are hurt, you're just delaying the inevitable, like Kevin Owens and, he fought Cody Rhodes in that vicious ladder match, whatever it was. And, I'm fine. And then it takes like a drop kick from Rey Mysterio. Oh, my neck is broken permanently for a year, and they're real injuries and it sucks, but yeah, Daniel Bryan here, he's looking as tan and as buff as he could possibly get as a WWE superstar here. Just seems like a freaking waste. I mean, Team Hell No, they were entertaining during those skits the previous summer, but like, what is this? Why always Kane? God damn it. And Bryan here is just, to me, it's just a waste. They didn't give him the music. They came out to Kane's music. And, just so Bryan can do the, he covers his ears and Kane does the pyro.
Yeah. And literally it was a contrast. It was a contrast in work ethic because you had Daniel Bryan who was looking in probably the best shape of his career, and you had Kane who looked like he was really letting it go.
I wouldn't say that.
No. Yeah. You remember what Kane looked like when he first came out. You remember Kane before he took his mask off, and you look at Kane now at that point, he was letting go. He was letting go.
Get you, man.
He was letting go.
While the time's undefeated, Bubba.
Yep.
I mean, corporate Kane would be the worst Kane I've ever seen, but he wasn't there yet.
No. Worst Kane by far was Kane Taker versus DX Kane. That was the worst Kane of them all. The one where Kane lost his mask mid-match. That was the worst Kane of them all.
That's not fair. They were all semi-retired at that point.
Yeah, you can't give him that.
Yeah, that was he was the most active of the four, which probably isn't saying much.
You know how in the world, speaking generally, kids are stupid. So there's probably some kid out there who's like, my favorite wrestler is corporate Kane.
Smack him.
Shut up. Look at Jada Parker.
Smack him hard, smack him often.
But this is really random. But I was at years ago, I was at Walmart and I just seen this kid. He was carrying around a Yoshi Tatsu action figure. I'm like, man, the homeboy's not even getting pushed. But the toy you chose, young little boy, is Yoshi Tatsu. I can appreciate that. So thank you. But people like who they like, and it's like I'm sure they're big fans of corporate Kane out there, but
absolutely,
I ain't one of them.
It ain't gonna be me.
Definitely not.
But yeah, Team Hell No and the Shield. I mean, look at Seth Rollins coming here. Look at him today, right? Freaking Seth freaking Rollins, and he's afraid to do his own entrance at this point of his career, and he rolls over the side ramp. I mean the guardrail there, and Roman is such a baby chief, The Shield, what a thing to watch at this point in their career, So, but then you look at it and it's like I'm looking at it, I see Tyler Black and I see Bryan Danielson, like they were fighting in Ring of Honor in 2008, man. And how about Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan headlining in a triple threat in Tampa years later? It's like, look at these. Just look at the card as a whole. You have the main eventers at the time, the Triple H's, Lesnar, Cena, Randy Orton, up in the top of the cards. In the beginning of the card, you got future world champions, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, so it's, we're making fun of the card being what it is, but it's like they had the talent. I mean, maybe the booking's weird, but they had the talent for sure.
The youth they were trying to push the youth movement along. They were trying to push the youth movement along.
Yeah.
Well, the Shield are your new tag team champions. The finish of the match, Roman had Daniel Bryan on his shoulder in like a torture rack type of position.
Yeah.
Then Cena's on the top rope, hits him with that flying knee to the throat.
Ooh.
1, 2, 3.
I love
he hooked him.
Yeah.
He hooked him.
Oh my God. I love that though. I'm not gonna lie.
That was really great. That was really great.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't cheat.
No.
Nope. They didn't cheat either.
Shield, they didn't cheat this night, and they became the tag champions and the United States champion.
Yep.
I mean, they just talked about Team Hell No having a record title reign, and then they would lose it to the Shield here. I'm like, man, who the hell did the Shield lose it to? I was like, oh yeah, smoke and mirrors. Do
you recall?
Brotherhood.
Yep.
Cody and Dustin.
Ron and Don Harris, the Aryan Nation. No, the God. Brotherhood. Cody and Dustin.
Cody and Dustin.
Oh yeah.
They called themselves the Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Garbage name.
Brother. I thought you were talking about Undercover Brother.
Whose house?
Swerve's house. Swerve. You wasn't there yet.
All right. Well, our next match is an Extreme Rules match, and we have the Big Show taking on Randy Orton. Randy Orton got the home field advantage. He's home.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't happen for him at Backlash last night, but it is what it is. But long story short, Orton was going over. Big Show wasn't going to win this. He looked strong. He broke the candlestick over his knee a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Big Show's trying to take Orton out through the ladder. He crashed and burns with the DDT, RKO. Big Show kicked out, so he did look pretty strong right there. He powered out, but you ain't getting enough from that punt.
No.
Yeah. He ate that second RKO on a chair and then got punted. Yeah, if he got it from that, I would have just been like, Orton's losing. There's no way you're going to win a match if you RKO somebody on a chair and then you punt him in the head and you pin him and he kicks out. Just go home.
Pat McAfee needed to do that last night against Gunther. Those kicks are connecting, but he ain't have that Orton in him.
Yeah. Piper. Yeah. He punted Gunther in the back, and Gunther turned around and punted him even harder. I'm like, dude, you was a punter by trade, man.
Fuck into that.
So, what are your thoughts on this match, guys? Orton and Big Show.
Not a must watch. I mean, it was pretty paint by the numbers, like you said. Orton was gonna do his thing. I mean, Big Show had like a little moment where you think he has a little bit of advantage, but Randy had all of it going on at that time. Right. So it was really just one of those. All right, get this over with, and let's move on to the next match.
We want him to have a hometown moment. So go ahead and just go out there and do what you can.
This match does not matter.
And if what we
not in a bad way though.
And what we talked about in the Nitro episode. Look at Big Show. Dude walked down to the ring. He got into like 3 moves, and he was already limping when he went out the ring. I was like, damn. I was like, he's limping already. Nothing happened to him yet. He's limping. So he started that slow roll down.
Yeah.
Strap, we got a match for you to watch. Episode 16 of the WCW Nitro podcast.
Oh
The main
yeah!
event of Nitro was Macho Man Randy Savage defending his title against the Giant Hulk
Please
Hogan. Went
watch
crazy
that.
during that match. You want to
Please
laugh?
watch
Check
that.
that out.
Please watch that.
Check that
Yeah,
out.
we got to get your reaction to that.
Hogan
next
went
show.
wild, brother.
Here,
The
insert
whole-
this to that show.
The whole match and aftermath.
You probably could.
Yeah, the whole match and the aftermath. That's what you get.
That is that era. I mean, so what is that? January or December?
No, that was December, week before Christmas.
I mean, just getting to wrestling in that time. You know, I love that stuff because, like I said, I was just getting to wrestling and all the new guys in the WWF. I didn't know who the hell they were, you know, but I knew Hogan and I knew Macho Man, you know. So when I could see those guys, I'm like, oh my god, like wow, they're still around, and you know, I still happy to see him, you know. So and Nitro had him, WCW had him. I was like, what the hell's WCW? Yeah, that period of time, that was just a fascinating time. And hey, 1996 was a great year in wrestling. 97 also another great year. 98 it just kept getting better and better, guys.
It did.
So,
It did.
yeah. But yeah, that was
And
fun.
then something happened around '99 at WCW. It wasn't so great anymore.
Oh my god, you had Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair just teaming together, chumming it up. It's like, what the hell is going on here? Ric Flair going, yeah, woo, yeah.
I do not recall.
Yeah.
With this match here, Randy Orton and the Big Show. I think later that year, 2013, I think they'd have another Survivor Series, Randy Orton and the Big Show for the title, for the championship. This was, and I believe I was going through some shit at the time. I was at Randy's house watching this pay-per-view, and I remember, you know, I was just pulled my shirt over my head. I was just like in my own headspace, you know. I'm just like, but then the match was like terrible anyway, so it's kind of like I'm feeling terrible. The match is terrible, you know, just a bad time all around. But yeah, watching it and just thinking, man, that Giant was great. Still don't like the Big Show, and Randy Orton is being Randy Orton. Yeah, not something you want to see. Really, you just didn't want to see this matchup, you know. But it was there again. Another match with two former world heavyweight champions, two WrestleMania headliners. We don't need to see them wrestle each other anymore.
No.
Wrestle other people,
Please.
Yes.
So.
All right. Well, our next match is for the WWE Championship. We have your champion John Cena taking on Ryback. Feed me more. Feed me more. And I have to say, you see this match, you think, okay, they might pull the trigger and give Ryback this championship.
Mm-hmm.
And
You would have thought.
I forgot Ryback, his arsenal wasn't all that, but his power moves really did look effective. Like
Yeah.
I used to like that. Not the shell shock. What was the other one he had? Like
The backpack
behind
stunner?
his back, and he just like drives him right down. That move was fire. back
Yeah,
in the day.
it's a backpack stunner. That
Yeah.
thing is impressive.
Yeah.
But Cena made Ryback look real strong.
Mhm.
Yep.
This man took an AA through the table. He got speared through a barricade.
Mm-hmm.
Went through another table by the entrance. Get hit by a fire extinguisher is not enough to, take out Ryback.
Got hit twice by it
Yep.
and sprayed by it, and then still took John Cena through the LED wall.
Yep.
Wow.
That right there, I was a little upset in a way. I was like, really?
Really?
Is this going to be a non-finish? Could have had a double, or even just like with Tommaso and Johnny Gargano, where they're both laying down. Just when they get to the 9-point, John just slips to the side. Boom. He just stands up, and then he just collapses
Hey,
at the
but
10.
Yeah.
That would have been
Ryback got
a
up.
better.
Ryback should be
Ryback actually.
I was thinking that too.
helped.
Should be your champ.
He had help getting up, but he got up. John Cena never moved.
Cena
Yeah.
was out.
Cena was done for.
We've been seeing him in that position a lot lately.
But
Yeah,
Laid out.
I think it's kind of the oh well, he's a heel now, so he doesn't have the Super Cena ability anymore.
Doesn't need it.
Nah, he doesn't because
Yeah.
there's so much. There's so much to explore with his heel turn now. There's so much to explore. There's been 20 years of material he can run up on now that he's a heel. He's got a lot to run with.
Who do you think takes the title off him on his final match? Because
This ain't that kind of show, Platinum.
I know that, but I'm just saying when we get there,
Um,
the flowing ideas out there, just even for a comedy spot. Fuck it.
Boston native Mike Bennett.
Oh,
absolutely not.
I put butts in the seats.
Um,
Matt Taven.
As long as Maria Kanellis is out there, I'll send my butt in the seat.
so my
R-Truth.
no, absolutely not.
Hey,
Love
people
him.
over there, what's up?
Weirdly think it could be
Shrek?
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns again?
I weirdly think it could be Roman Reigns.
Jacob Fatu.
They got to make somebody. They got to make somebody. It ain't gonna be Jeff Cobb.
No, God, he's short. I had no idea. Like that dude's like Taz with long hair.
Ever seen a big Filipino or a tall Filipino like that?
That dude is like he's stocky as fuck, but dude's like 4'7".
When he came out, it was like, oh, I gotta look at some monster Matanza. Really? He's so little. So cute. Come here. I want you as a pet. Jeff, cute. No.
I don't see them putting it back on Cody. Like I said, the weird part of me thinks it might be Roman Reigns, or it might be somebody that they bring up to take it to kind of pass it to the next generation. But
Austin Theory.
hell no.
Heard he might be released.
That window's gone.
Yeah, that window left when the old man left.
Yeah, that is.
He's been breaking up with Grayson Waller for 13 months.
Seriously?
Yep. Yeah. I don't know.
I disagree with you, BDC. I think to wrap up all the stories that Cody's got a big book, so he's got to wrap up this story too. I think he wins the title back, and then he can then his second reign, arguably wouldn't mean as much as his first reign, which was a great reign. It was over, it was a year long. But he can, after winning the title back, so you finish that story, and you start another one that goes toward WrestleMania, whatever that one would be, and then you move on from there. That's what I think could happen. So,
What about you,
or
Platinum? Who do you
find
think?
a new talent.
Huh? Who I think it would be?
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be Cody. I don't see anybody right now that's gonna take the reins and run with it on SmackDown and be that guy at the moment.
Damn that! It's gonna be Jordan Grace.
That'd be funny.
I mean, I think we discussed this on the Nitro podcast. Is there a guy in TNA that might come over and take a WWE title? I don't think so.
Yeah, absolutely. Like
Steve Cutler.
now, I've been reading rumors that when Joe Hendry's contract is up, he's going to sign with the E. But even in that, I don't
Definitely not
see
gonna
it.
be no Joe Henry. That would be.
He's going to be he's going to be NXT bound. He's going to be NXT bound. I don't see him main roster at least immediately.
Ricky
But
Saints.
I mean, it would literally have to be like Dolph Ziggler coming back, or
Nah.
somebody who's been previously a world champion over here that would come back to take it from John Cena. But really, there's nobody of that caliber over there that would be believable beating him at this point.
Do you guys see somebody like a Penta winning the title against John Cena?
No.
Mm-mm.
That's how you build
Never.
our market.
Yeah.
I
love
remember.
Penta.
Oh man.
I remember
But-
what happened the last time he had to fight a luchador for a title.
There is another guy that would be better for that market.
What are you talking about?
Dom.
Oh, no.
Mysterio.
That'll be pretty good. That would definitely put him over.
That you talk about strapping a rocket to this kid. He's going straight to the moon.
Yeah, I mean, people didn't expect that he was going to get the pop that he got when he won the IC title.
Oh,
Nobody saw that coming.
I did. I seen the reactions lately and how he's been
Mhm.
crowd's been loving his ways. He's going to be turned babyface by the end of the year.
It was a great.
If they need him to do it.
Mhm.
All right, well, interesting thoughts. We will definitely see how it plays out later on this year, but not sure if we ever talk about Ryback anytime soon. But
It'll be Ryback.
Every time Ryback's on, he's going to retire because something's going on AEW that's supposed to happen.
Look, I'm going to put the image of everybody's head. He was dressed like a Ninja Turtle for WrestleMania.
I'll tell you what, I'll take Ryback over Braun Strowman any day.
You know what? I actually think I would co-sign that to a degree.
I'll have to pass on that one. I'll take that big.
You know what? Actually, I'll
over
put it
Ryback.
like this: if you allow Braun Strowman to be as athletic as he is when he's fighting bigger guys, I would take Braun Strowman. But the problem is when he's not fighting guys that are his size or bigger, they just want him to be the lumbering powerhouse. When the dude's actually got some technical ability he can run with, and he showcases it against guys that are his size or bigger. So, like, let him show that against the smaller dudes. I mean, you got Gunther doing kangaroo kicks on people. You can have Braun Strowman do some things to the smaller wrestlers. Probably kill him, but it's beside the point.
Ooh, Gunther's actually a good name to take the title off of Cena.
Actually, you think about it.
Braun Breaker.
Mm-hmm.
Destroy Cena.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I just don't want to see it.
He would dust Cena like he was in the Avengers Infinity War.
You kill him.
Probably.
You definitely kill him.
Yeah. It won't even be fair.
Yeah.
It all depends. When is Money in the Bank happening this year?
Next month, June 8th, 9th, something like that.
Isn't that overseas?
It's June.
I
think it's June 7th. So
it's in L.A. Intuit Dome.
No, they're having AAA NXT When Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank on the same night. So it's AAA NXT and then WWE later that night.
I say whatever going on with that'll pretty much determine
who's going to be.
I thought Platinum was going to go in a different direction. He went in a good direction with Dominic Mysterio. But I thought he was going to go with El Gran Luchador. Or Gran Americano. Whatever the hell his name is. Chad Gable.
El Chadwick Gable.
Hold on. It's not been proven that he's El Gran.
Michael Cole says so.
El Chadwick Gable Sia.
Who does he know?
He's the voice of WWE. He's a war correspondent.
That's right.
He's been doing this thing for 28 years.
But okay. So I'd like to briefly touch on the Ryback Cena match. I mean, it really. I mean, it was like three things, like three matches in one. The beginning of it, though, before they started being reckless on the outside of the ring, I thought it was like a real world title match. Like it felt like Ryback actually was a really good contender. Like it was paced as if like he was gonna win the title almost. But then they took it to another extreme, which they just had an Extreme Rules match with the Big Show and Randy Orton, but they took it to the outside. They went all over the place, and they're going to that tech area, and I'm looking at that tech area because that's my work area. I'm like, it's like they better get authorization to work in that zone. It's like if you unhook this cable, the show is over, my friend. And you probably didn't notice this, but like they're fighting in that tech area, and there's this woman, she's sitting at like a regular table, and she she gets up and she scurries out of the way, and like one of the tech guys with the headset on, he's like, this big fat guy, he's just like, oh, I'll protect you. Yeah, creepy motherfucker. And they make their way up to the finish of the match, the ramp and the LED wall, and You know, he gets speared through the LED wall. I'm like, there's nothing there that would cause sparks and pyro, but it's part of the show. I know, but I'm like, there's nothing there that would cause a fire. Okay,
Yeah,
I know it's electronics, but it would not cause a fire.
And it was great that you had they kept showing it over and over again. This show is very motion where they go into the wall and then 10 feet that way, sparks start flying and smoke goes off. It's like, yeah, that absolutely was realistic. Yeah, that makes sense.
Shooting pain.
This blows up. Okay, yeah, that works.
You stub your toe and you go, ah!
From an AV and IT guy.
But WWE does that, and it's like, I knew what they were gonna do for the next 10 minutes. They're just gonna camera on the guys selling and get the ambulance guys. And I was on my Fire Stick remote, click, 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 click. Yep, they're still lying on the ground. Click, click.
I was doing the same thing.
Yeah, I appreciate how the referee was making sure to be good and loud so he could be heard. They're like, yeah, make sure you get the ambulance. Yeah, we need an ambulance over here. Can you get that ambulance? The guy's like literally right here. Can you get that ambulance? We need an ambulance. I'm like, dude, you're deafening people. You're deafening people.
Stop to see the replay.
Hurry. Come on, guys. Teddy Long.
Come on, player.
Tag team match.
Hurry up and so it's gonna be 1-on-1 with the Undertaker.
I actually enjoyed this match, so it was pretty good.
Yeah,
definitely rewatch it.
Yeah.
No, it was definitely a good match.
Yeah.
Definitely rewatchable.
But
Just the ending.
You gotta tell me, because I don't want to watch what happened. Like, I want to know the follow up between Ryback and Cena after this.
I was curious too, because I didn't know that was the finish. So I was just like, oh, geez. Well, what's next month? So I don't know if we'll ever find out.
I was always a big fan of the Goldberg chants and his matches, especially when he went heel.
I'd rather move on to the next homework assignment for the It Doesn't Matter podcast. But
what happened with Ryback Cena?
No. No. So this was a good match, a worthy match on a show that thus far has not really impressed that much. So, but this one was a good one, I thought.
Yeah, it had a couple of clickers at the front, but then it's kind of lost a little steam.
No,
all right. So
I kind of agree with you on.
So next month it was Payback.
Oh no.
Cena and Ryback had a 3 stages of hell match for the championship. The first stage was a lumberjack match. Ryback won. Stage 2 was a tables match. Cena won. That third stage was an ambulance match, and obviously John Cena won. There you go.
Oh God!
It just doesn't sound interesting. Like, I don't want to watch it.
Oh.
Even though we enjoyed this match, I don't want to watch that either.
So
once you hear lumberjack, I'm like, ugh.
So is this before? Is this before or after Ryback and Paul Heyman had like that love affair on screen?
That never happened, according to recent.
I wouldn't even want to watch Payback. This show seemed terrible. Looking at the card right now. Curtis Axel defeated Wade Barrett in the Miz for the Intercontinental Championship. Yeah. That's what he wanted.
Oh God!
Wow.
AJ defeated Caitlyn. Ambrose
OJ defeated Nicole. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that goes without saying.
United States Championship match. Ambrose won by a countout. Del Rio defeated Ziggler for the World Heavyweight Championship.
No.
CM Punk fought Chris Jericho.
Weird.
The Shield fought Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton. What?
Wait,
huh?
Wait, for the tag titles?
What was that? Shield versus Randy and who?
Daniel Bryan.
Randy and Daniel Bryan. That's weird.
What the hell?
Can you have high liver enzymes or something?
No, I came for Ambrose for the United States title.
Oh my God, what is going on here?
Interesting. All right.
It's like we're gonna keep it new. We're gonna switch some things up.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just like the Nitro podcast. Lex Luger takes on Buff Bagwell. Next week, Lex Luger take on Scotty
Briggs.
So stablemates of the It Doesn't Matter podcast.
All right. Well, our main events, we have Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman taking on the King of Kings, the Game, Triple H. This is a rematch from WrestleMania 29, but this time it's inside a steel cage. Brock comes out, he makes his entrance, but Triple H just comes out and just attacks him before Brock even gets inside the damn cage.
I actually like the way they started that.
Yeah, me too.
Have a fight. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. Like, for example, earlier tonight we were talking about Fandango and Chris Jericho, and they talking about their rivalry, how it started, and Chris Jericho wanted to fight Fandango, and while Fandango is cha-cha sliding and whatever he's doing, Jericho just laying on the ropes like he's Scott Hall or something like that.
Yep.
Like he's absolutely bored. It's like, well, I'm glad that you're bored, but aren't you pissed too?
Yeah, go after the dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like wait for him to turn around, throw him into his flames and shit, set him on fire or something, do something.
Slap Summer Rae, something.
Damn.
You had to go there.
Because you almost want to say she had nothing to do with it, but she did fake that injury, so she would have deserved that shit.
Exactly.
How dark did you want to go in this match?
Dark side of the ring.
I don't want to go that far. Jeez.
Sabu.
19 Chris.
Tie his bell bottoms together and whoop his ass with them.
Listen, Booker man.
All right, but this right here, it was a fight, a well-deserved fight inside the steel cage. But Brock messed up his knee early in the match. He went for like a flying knee and
that's
the cage.
Crazy.
And then Triple H, he took in his inner Ric Flair and he just started working on that damn knee the whole damn time. And Brock, we never seen Brock in a vulnerable state like that. Like, oh my God, Paul, my knee. Like throughout the whole damn match. And got to the point where Paul's getting frustrated and he grabs a chair. He takes out little Nate, gets the chair, and then Brock gets a hold of that chair, and
things happen.
Yeah, things are definitely happening. But Brock's knee is just definitely banged up. Not sure if it was a work or not, but Paul kept telling Brock, "Hey, shake it off. Let's take this home. Let's take it home."
It's so weird.
We seen something about Brock Lesnar that we never seen before. He tried to escape the cage, like climb over the top rope and escape the cage. But Triple H, he grabbed that damn chair and he just bashed the hell out of that damn knee.
He's like, no.
Yeah, Brock was very vulnerable at that time, and I noticed that. I'm like, he's probably like, you know what? I got to listen to Paul. Just get the hell out of here. I've done all that I can do. I don't need to be a
all I got to do is escape the cage to win. It don't need to be anything more than that.
Yeah.
And this is when I started thinking, okay, this guy he's a next level guy. When he first came into the E, he was like one dimensional. You kind of seen who he was, but now he's got that. All right, now he's selling. Now he's making himself vulnerable.
Yep.
Now he's really getting the business.
And now it's going to be Suplex City, where he's going to use one move 232 times a match.
I'm not gonna lie, I still love
it. Look, whatever works.
I don't know, man. Just
whatever
about Brock. Brock is different. Brock really is that guy that no matter where you put him in any era, he's the man. And he's going to my Mount Rushmore, bro. Someone's getting kicked off. Someone's getting kicked off. Yep, he's going on that Mount Rushmore. By the time he's completely done and over with, going on that Mount Rushmore.
Oh man. All right, well, the sledgehammer comes into play.
The camouflage sledgehammer.
The Silver Surfer.
Triple H found in that damn corner for some reason, and Paul Heyman comes in. He low blows Triple H, and then Brock bashes Triple H, and then hits him with the F5.
Yeah, dude was
laid him out.
Dude was out after the coke-op, but after the coke-op with the sledgehammer, it was academic after that. Like just go ahead, pick him up, put him on the shoulders, hit him with the F5. He ain't getting up.
I think this was the third or fourth match since he came back.
Yeah.
So
and I think
they said this is the rubber match for some reason.
Yeah, it was a rubber match. They were 1-1. So Brock went up 2-1 on him with that match.
It was good. It was very good. But
it was brutal.
I was questioning to myself,
brutal in a good way.
I see why they had Cena and Ryback end the way it did, because if that was the main event, that was the last match of the night, people have been pissed off going home.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
it made perfect sense.
Yeah.
So Backlash, Lee, what do you think about Brock and Triple H in this cage match?
See, we've been waiting all show long for this match. The first thing is that this is before Brock Lesnar became Mr. Suplex, Mr. Suplex City. And Abel likes Mr. Suplex City, except for the fact that it's just a German suplex. I mean, this is the same one, and that's not even the most exciting suplex. Not the way he does it, not for me. So that's why I don't like Suplex City Brock in that manner. But you know, I mean, after he beat the Undertaker, that's who he became. After he beat the Undertaker, and then he whooped John Cena. He jobbed out John Cena that year SummerSlam, which was supposed to be Daniel Bryan. So John Cena is a true champ for taking the exact same booking that Vince wanted. He's like, he just wanted Lesnar to destroy Daniel Bryan, but he was injured. Vince still wanted the same thing to happen for Brock, so he just had him do it to Cena instead. And I remember my friend Tommy the Bull, sometimes he listens to this show, and he absolutely hated that match because he was a big Cena fan. He's like, oh, then crying. Cena crybaby. Yeah, so you know, Lesnar, after beating the Undertaker, he would be the same Suplex City guy for the rest of his career until right now, if he ever comes back. But there was that 2-year window where he faced Cena, Triple H 3 times, CM Punk, and where he actually was a pro wrestler. He wrestled as a pro wrestler. He didn't wrestle as Suplex City Brock. And this is one of those matches where he did that. I mean, I think that was very goofy. Paul, my knee. Oh, my knee. It's like, oh, it's like, really? But it's like, that's pro wrestling. And that's what this match was. And whoever booked it, I mean, you had Triple H, Paul Heyman involved, and Brock's not I mean, he seems like a dummy, but I don't think he is in real life.
No.
And they put together this match, and this match was tremendous. This is a great match. It totally, I mean, for as long as I've been watching wrestling, I admit that I still can't figure out the story, because you're supposed to tell a story in every wrestling match. And sometimes the story is, all right, we're even, and then you hurt my knee and you take over, and then you slip on a banana peel and I get you with a trick pinfall, you know? It's like, that's the story of the match. Cool. All right. That's like if you're backstage talking to your opponent for TV, you know, it's like, as a fan, I still don't see the stories sometimes, you know, but when they're able to tell it in, I guess, an obvious way. Oh, Lesnar went, they shoved it down your throat. Lesnar went for the knee in the cage, hurt the knee. He kept selling the knee. Triple H went after the knee. The knee came into play during the finishes. False finish. And Triple H, he's a cerebral assassin. He knew, he planned ahead of time. He hid that god darn Silver Surfer sledgehammer up in the top of the cage. He grabbed it. He was so happy, got distracted, was not able to use it. And then, you know, Paul interferes, and it's like, like everything just worked. It was tremendous storytelling through this whole match. And for a match that I probably never want to watch again, it was a great match, and I'm very happy for it. You know, just a tremendous storytelling, just tremendous work from everyone. But like I said, it's not a match I want to watch again, but it was very well done. Very, very well done.
So this was your choice. So does Extreme Rules 2013, does this show matter?
Welcome to the wrap up. Uh-oh. We have someone from the Hurt Syndicate here. I would say as a whole, I would say, no, the show doesn't matter. I mean, you had some good stuff on it, and Ryback and John Cena was really good. Triple H and Brock Lesnar here in the steel cage was tremendous. And it's fun to see Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Daniel Bryan, and Randy Orton, Del Rio, who's back in the news, you know, to see all these guys who would go on to bigger and better things, or you see them, you just see this as a snapshot in time of who they were at this moment in time. And it's interesting to watch. It makes you think. You know, we had a lot of time and a lot of good time talking about all these wrestlers, all these superstars, you know.
Yep.
Even Fandango, you know, and Jericho.
Yeah.
But it's just not the most fun show that you could relive, you know. So I would say it doesn't matter, but there are good things on it.
All right. Well, BDC gave it a thumbs down, but Platino gave it a thumbs up. So Platino, why'd you give it a thumbs up?
Yeah, John summarized it again with the whole where you see all these guys where they were, a snapshot of what would become. All these guys like Roman Reigns would end up being the main guy. Seth Rollins is another main guy. Dean is another top star in another company. John Cena is still doing his thing at this time. Brock is just phenomenal with his selling, and Triple H is the mastermind of all this now going on. You do see a lot of things that you would not expect. I did not expect the Ryback and John Cena match to go the way it did, but I was pleasantly surprised. Minus the ending, I just didn't like that part. The I did like the fact that the Shield won all the titles that night. It was a snapshot of these guys. All right, you're dominating the E. You're finally going on your own, and you're show your dominance. Now win some title, get some gold around your waist, and that I really enjoyed. Now the match that started it off with Fandango and Chris Jericho will be an all-time legend in the industry, no matter where he goes and what he does. And like you said, you see him here, and then you see him now. It's like, how many more evolutions can you go, bro? Like, and I'm not hating or anything. It's amazing to still be relevant to this day, over 20, like what, 15, 12, so 12 years later. He reinvents himself maybe 3-4 more times, and they're all good. It's an amazing pay per view.
Yeah.
Not for the matches itself, but to see where these guys started or where they at that point, and see where they ended up at right now. Definitely go review it. There's some good stuff in there, and you'll be pleasantly surprised at where these guys are at now.
Yeah, I mean Jericho in particular. We'll talk about Taker's been in the business 30 years. Randy Orton's been in the business 25. Cena's been in the business 25, 30 years. Well, guess what? Chris Jericho has been in about 30 years at this point.
Almost 35, 36.
Yeah, closing in. Yeah, because I mean, he was doing it before. You know, we got to know him kind of in WCW, but he was doing it before that.
Yeah.
So I mean, this dude has put his time in, and like you said, he reinvents himself. I mean, he didn't have to do much of that in WWE. He was Y2J pretty much all the way through, although he had different iterations of the character. You know, he had Lionheart in WCW, but then in AEW New Japan, he's had at least five different iterations of himself just in that time.
You got the Painmaker. You got the Nueve, El Ocho.
Yep. You got the Learning Tree.
The Learning Tree. I love this. Learning Tree. Some people may not like it, but I enjoy it. It's him being self-aware and like, you know what? You guys don't like me? It's okay. I'm still gonna be here.
Yeah.
Come tune in. Yes. Hi.
Yeah, he has done so much with the industry. It's crazy. It's crazy.
All right. Well, for me, I say this show does matter. At first, when I announced the card last week, I'm like, "What the hell does John gonna have me watch?" And it was two matches that I really didn't care about. And one of them was definitely Big Show and Randy Orton. Another one was Chris Jericho and Fandango. Yes, Jericho trying to get Fandango over to the next level, but it was mediocre for me.
Like John said, that 50-50 booking doesn't work
overall,
anywhere.
the show as a whole it was pretty good. Will I watch it again? Not anytime soon, unless I have to. But I definitely enjoyed it. So, and just like a typical WCW show, that second half of the show definitely picked up.
Yeah, mine's Randy Orton.
Definitely did. It was an interesting show overall. So that's my thoughts on that. But next week, it's my choice. I don't think y'all know the topic. I think Abel might know the topic, but I'm not sure y'all two know the topic. And I've been waiting 3 years for this topic right here.
3 years.
3 years. We are going to talk about all things Chris Benoit.
Oh boy, this is about to be. We're about to get canceled.
Nah.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, I am going to
Get out of
enjoy
Dodge.
this. I'm gonna actually. I want to make sure to be, because there's a lot of things about him left unsaid that should probably really be said. And because of the out of the ring stuff, it's like almost taboo to talk about him. For the in-ring stuff, and the bottom line is his in-ring was ridiculous, and it deserves to be noted regardless of what happened as a result of his in-ring stuff, because people just want to talk about, oh, well, he did this, that, and the other. Well, guess what? I'm pretty sure the hundreds of flying headbutts he threw on people had a hand in that. But everybody wants to, oh, we need to erase him from history. No, you don't erase the guy from history, because of what he did could have potentially been a result of the fact that he had this history with you.
So should we erase what Jimmy Snuka did in his past?
That is
Jimmy
different.
It doesn't matter.
That is different. First off,
How dare you, sir?
It is all one and the same.
No. Unless Jimmy Snuka was found to have CTE from all those splashes he hit on people over the years.
He had more than that.
You know.
Piper hit him with that damn coconut. That's what happened.
Oh, that coconut.
That's what happened.
So it's Roddy Piper's fault.
Yeah.
Roddy. Damn it, Roddy. But yeah, so it's just there's so much that is not said about him because of the fact that it's such a taboo topic to talk about. Because if you talk about one thing and invariably end up getting back to the murder homicide and the homicide, suicide, all that stuff like that, and people just want to kind of back off of it. And the bottom line is there's wrestling stuff to talk about. What he did wrestle, and he was a big name in the business for well over a decade. And I mean, it should be discussed. It should be talked about. It should be talked about how gifted he was in the ring. It should be talked about how that dude.
All right, we got to cut you off because you're giving away too much information. Dom, shut us down.
Damn that! Anyway, like I said, no. But yeah, it needs to be talked about. So I'm looking forward to it.
All right, Strap, shut us down, brother.
Goodbye. Folks, thanks for tuning into another wild edition of the Doesn't Matter podcast for BDC, Poppy Platinum, and myself, and the notorious one, Dom. We will see you next week.
Maybe.
Boom.
Boom.
Boom.